Welcome back to another episode of Two Joes and a Pro. As always, you got your guys, Kenny, Ryan, and Brian. My boys, what's up? What's the latest?
Man, I'm good.
Chilling, man. We always do
Hmm.
that
At the same
every
time,
time.
no, lately you haven't done that. I think you guys are eager. Eager today? Well, pumped up.
I'm ready to talk.
Anyway, I like that. Anyway, man, let's get straight into it, man. Uh, it's a lot of sports happening right now. A lot of sports happening. Before I'm going to start off something different. I don't know if you guys got the chance to watch UFC 281 that happened this weekend. It was really good, right? I'm a little pissed because Adesanya, Izzy he lost. It hurt me to my core. I hate when I like lately these last 2 weeks. Anything that I touch loses. So I have like the reverse Midas touch. Like any teams that I bet on, they lose. Any guy that I like to win UFC, they lose. All my fantasy teams, they lose. So it's like I have a dark cloud over
Ooh,
me
poor
when it
guy.
comes to like anything for winning right now. So I'm a little hurt on that. But 281 was really good. Dustin Poirier had a good fight. The ladies probably had the fight of the night. They were brawling for the belt. So that was good. But anyway, let's touch on college for last week. Really not too many crazy games. The Alabama Mississippi game was decent for the most part. Alabama won that game 30-24. So all you Alabama haters, y'all can go F off. Surprisingly, I would think the game for me was TCU versus Texas. I thought that was going to be a shootout. So that was my game that I lost. My parlay on because I took the over for that game. I said the over for the game. It has to happen. TCU doesn't play any defense. Then, to my surprise, halftime the score was like 3-3 or 7-3, and I was like, what the fuck, right? So anyway, TCU ended up handling business, showing that they can play some defense. They won the game 17-10. And then besides that, matchup wise, there wasn't really any big matchups. Ohio State and Tennessee, Georgia, everybody couldn't handle business for the most part. A lot of people were a little bit upset about how the Mississippi State and Georgia game went because it was kind of closer at first, and people think that the refs was like pushing for Georgia to go blow them out because the game was closer than what it looks like this week. Nothing really to go right home about. It's a Pac-12 matchup. You got USC versus UCLA, which is going to be a great game at UCLA, which there's no difference in LA, right? And then you want to have the Oregon versus the Utah matchup, which should be really good. That game should be really good. For some reason, Oregon always has a hard time playing Utah, whether it's at home or away. So we'll see if the real Bo Nix stays the same or if he folds. But yeah, that's what we have for there. And then college basketball is just picking up right now. I don't. Everybody's. Is anybody lost yet? No, everybody is. It's just 2 games in, right? Everybody is win, right? It's no really big games. I mean, Gonzaga played Michigan State to start off. They won that matchup. Timmy is somehow still in the NCAA, which is blowing my mind. I feel like he's been at Gonzaga for like 8 or 10 years now.
Hey, Kenny,
But
who did
yep.
Michigan State just beat? I know they upset somebody, but I can't. Sorry to put you on the spot, but I thought I could have sworn
Yeah,
they just upset somebody.
Yeah, they just beat. They just beat Kentucky.
Okay.
My bad. So yeah, they just beat Kentucky 86-77. So I appreciate you helping me on
and
that.
then also
Skip
Duke got taken down, by the 6th seed. I can't remember, or not the seed, but like the number 16.
They lost to Kansas.
Yeah, okay.
Shit.
Man, I couldn't remember who it was, but
man, I need to let Brian run
Well,
this, right?
maybe you're right.
Brian needs to run college basketball,
man,
right?
it's a group effort because I can't remember the names. I'm just like I see stuff in passing, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, like I just everything be scrambled through my mind. It's like scrambled brain, right? So so Duke lost, Kansas lost, right?
Kentucky lost.
So the Kentucky lost. Sorry, Duke lost. Kentucky lost. Yeah. So Gonzaga's still number 2. North Carolina's number 1. They got their team coming back. Then Houston's number 3. I don't know who they have on their roster, but they're number 3. So it's still early. So it always flip flops in the beginning, right? Because teams are normally good teams are normally playing each other in the beginning, so you don't get the best version of them until probably around January, February time you start to see people hit their strides. So college basketball is definitely going to be very interesting this year, and it's going to be, excuse me, it's going to be a lot of money for us to hopefully make because Maryland Sportsbook is supposed to be opening up pretty soon. I'm still seeing a lot of like notifications like, "Hey, get in now, get your money in now, so we can start." So you'll see a lot more for those in BK bets. But that's all I got.
All right, I'm gonna take NBA today. You guess a hot start from Boston, Milwaukee. They're still doing their thing. Boston's right now is half a game up on Milwaukee for the best team in the league. You also got Portland and Damian Lillard is still doing his thing. That team looks
Yeah,
like they're starting to put it together. We'll see if they keep it going the rest of the year. Jokic and the boys in Denver, they're still playing very well. I did see an interesting note that I wanted to bring up was, and I meant to mention this last week, and I was like, nah, maybe it's a little premature, but I wanted to mention that I thought Jason Tatum was an MVP candidate this year, and the odds came out, and he is now the best one with I think plus 300 odds to be the MVP this year. And I was just wondering what your take on that was, Kenny.
um, I can't be upset about that. He's been balling, right? He looks good. He's been balling. He's been taking care of what he needs to statistically. I still like how John Morant looks. I think John Morant is playing out of his mind, and it's showing up in wins in a sense. It's not the same as Boston being 11-3 because they're 9-6, but I feel like they're playing a lot of tougher teams right now. I would say Steph Curry as well, but you can't really say that this early when they're not winning, right? So you can put up a lot of points, but they're not. It's like Carmelo Anthony in the New York Knicks. Like you put up all the points, but you're not winning. So it's kind of like one of those things where he could be a dark horse if the Warriors catch on, but Jason Tatum being number one, I won't be upset with
Yeah,
that.
I'm just really happy right now because I feel like Tatum has taken his game to the next level. He played. You guys probably remember me saying he was a little soft in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's got that edge right now, and
But what do you think is the big difference though?
I just I think he worked on little things on his game, like taking it to the hole, being able to finish at the cup with the contact. Um, playing more aggressively, not settling for those jump shots outside from three, even though he's good at it. But
Yeah,
still, you
yeah,
you gotta take it to the hole, get the other team in foul trouble, and be able to make free throws. His free throws are way up this year,
yeah,
and also I think the chatter of Jalen being the guy with the edge. I think that his competitiveness came out, and he was like, "All right, I'm going to be that guy now." Because last year
yeah.
Jalen was kind of their edge guy.
I think that it it pairs the two. I think Jalen kind of helped Jason realize, like, listen, bro, it's nothing wrong with you coming out and like showing your chest a little bit, like beat on your chest. There's nothing wrong with that. And then I think that like Ime not being there kind of helped out a little bit too because now like I feel like their coach just like lets them rock out.
Yeah,
Lets them rock out a little bit more. Like, listen, do you guys do your thing? We're going to try to make sure we're tight on the defensive end, but you guys do your thing. But to your point, he definitely has been more aggressive to the cup. He's not settling for those mid range, and I feel like he's gotten a lot stronger,
yeah,
right? Or if he's not a lot stronger, he's putting himself in positions to win those one on one matchups when he's backing a guy down or his post game, whatever the case may be. So I would say to the Utah Jazz, they are the team that doesn't have any big names, but they're performing very well. And then the Portland Trailblazers, shout out to Chauncey Billups. They always had the offensive pieces. They just really needed, to play defense, right? And Chauncey Billups has them playing defense. And I think Damian Lillard, yes, he's playing good, but the supporting cast for sure with Grant and what's his name? And Anthony, they're like balling. So yeah.
um, what's your take on the Ben Simmons drama in New Jersey? I mean Brooklyn with the Nets.
What do you mean?
Well, because I saw a recent article. I think today it was. They were saying how there's players on the team that aren't happy with the fact that he's not constantly like ready to play, and
Yeah.
that they worry that his passion for the game is gone.
Yeah. By the way, for Portland, I meant Anthony, not Anthony. Sorry, Simmons. But no, to your point with not Jason Tatum, with Ben Simmons, he's ass. Like that's what it is, right? That's what it is, right? Like some guys have it and some guys don't, right? Some you can have a guy be physically talented and have all the attributes to be, a dude, as my coach would say back in the day, but he's just not it. Like he's not, right? Like I think if your name was not Kevin Durant, if you're in the Brooklyn Nets, it's bad news, right? It's bad news because it's like something's going to happen. Like you get nothing but bad pub, right? KD's trying to do his thing. The whole Kyrie debacle, right? Now everybody's like, oh well, I don't think Kyrie's like that. And now everybody's saying that. Then I can't believe Nike wanted to terminating his doggone sponsorship, which is crazy to me, right? But I think that's
Nike's in hot
that.
water right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Odell just came out like
Well,
going
Again.
against him.
yep. With the 20, yeah, get my dog his 20 mil. That and then like it's just a lot of stuff going on. But I just think Ben Simmons is just milking, bro. And since he's so talented, people are like if he just plays, he'll be worth the money we're trying to give him. But he's just skating through,
Yeah.
right? He's just skating through. So like it's disappointing.
It
But,
is
yeah.
because he could have been a great player, and he just isn't.
It's weird that everything that he did in high school, he could shoot, he could play defense, he can go to the cup, he could pass, he could do all that. He doesn't do shit in the NBA. Nothing.
He's regressed every year, basically.
Every year he got worse.
Like, it's just
Right.
weird. I will say, Brooklyn right now is not doing too hot. They are 6-9, but I think a lot of that has to do with Kyrie being out. I think he's scheduled to be back by Thanksgiving. I think I saw.
Unless something else happens.
Right. Who knows? I mean, he's just got to stay off Twitter, apparently.
Yeah.
And then last thing we'll talk about real quick on the NBA is how about them Lakers, Kenny?
I knew you was not gonna let me go with that.
Is LeBron injured?
Right?
Bro. No.
The Lakers is the Lakers is just not it, man. Like
All those names, though,
yeah, like, but we don't really have a lot of names though. Our roster is trash, right? Like we got Patrick Beverly, right? Anthony Davis, LeBron James.
Yeah. Go on. Keep going. There you
Russell,
go. Yeah, okay.
respect. But after that, it's not really anybody, right? Like this is all I want to say about the Lakers. Don't expect anything. I don't even know why they're trying. Like I think now they're pulling back from us being even on prime time because we're so ass, right? So like this is the only thing I have to say about it. When it comes to LeBron James' legacy, right? When it comes to his legacy, this is the only thing that's going to taint it because people were giving Kobe shit, right? God rest his soul, giving Kobe shit his last couple years. Oh man, but Kobe didn't finish out on top. Kobe regressed. Kobe still was getting his buckets. The team was just ass. What has LeBron done the last 2 years?
Nothing.
Team has been ass. Last year, garbage. The year before, on the cusp, right? Then we won in Kobe year, and people were like, oh my gosh. But some people will say that Kobe year was a little weird, right? Because we weren't trending in the right direction either. That because LeBron got hurt, it was things going on. We weren't trending in the right direction. Then all of a sudden we got a play-in game, blah, blah, blah. We do good. All right, who we play? We play nobody. We win it out. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, LeBron is still great. Like, I'm not saying LeBron's not great. I'm just saying that this is put the same shit that y'all gave Kobe. Y'all need to look at it with LeBron when you talk about going out on a high note, right? Jordan would have been left. After Kobe year, Jordan was like, peace, I'm out. I'm done. But LeBron's still trying to play with his son, which I get it 100%. But yeah, that's what I got to take on that. But look, think about this. You can't be good when your top three players getting 47 million, 44 million, and 37 million. That's the whole team roster.
You can be good if look at Golden State.
Yeah, but Golden State,
their payroll is like 400 million or something like that. It's
yeah,
absurd.
but those are on long-term contracts with. Look at this. They're on long-term contracts. Look at this. Let me see right here. They're on long term talk. 48 million. Steph Curry, cool. Klay Thompson 44 million. Andrew Wiggins 33. Draymond Green 25, and then it drops
Yeah,
off from there.
they're paying Draymond Green $25 million to get 10 rebounds a game and get 5 fouls. Like
what you see Draymond do now was it not like that before. Draymond was he can actually get buckets and everything. Now he's like, okay, I'm the plug it in piece. Like put me anywhere you want. I'm gonna kill, right? So, but those are snipers. They can shoot. We have nobody that can shoot. That's the difference. You pay 40 million to somebody that can shoot, or you pay 40 million to somebody that can't shoot. That's what we do at the Lakers. We pay 40 million to guys that can go to the cup. But guess what? You can't have everybody go to the cup and nobody can shoot.
Well, maybe it's time for Genie to sell the team.
Hell no. Why would you ever sell the team?
Because they're mismanagement.
No, bro. What are you saying? All the doggone world championships.
She's paying the wrong people.
It's not that. It's because LeBron is saying, "Hey, get this person, this person." Oh, this, and he's not the GM.
Oh, but they're letting him be the GM. So
yeah, that's true.
That's on her.
So, but yeah. Well, I'll talk all day about the Lakers.
All right. We'll move on. Real quick on the MLB. We got a bunch of teams putting qualifying offers on on players. A lot of those players are gonna say no to those qualifying offers because they expect free agency to be more lucrative for them. So it's kind of like a thing that they do, but it's a procedure. It's procedural. But anyways,
good definition.
Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. But anyways, that's really all that's going on in MLB. And then owners meetings is coming up in a few weeks. That's about it. That's usually when free agency and trades start happening. There is one thing that happened already. The Blue Jays traded their outfielder Teoscar Hernandez to the Seattle Mariners for a couple of prospects. That's a huge move for the Mariners. They get a big bat. The guy's a 2-time silver slugging award winner. So that's a huge get for them. He's only 30, still got a few years left. So that's it for baseball. Unless you guys got anything. Take that as a no. All right.
Yankees play Aaron Judge.
Oh, well, speaking of the Yankees, I did forget about that. They did re-sign Anthony Rizzo. To a multi-year deal.
You thought that more people were going to go after him or something?
No, I'm just surprised that they haven't made Judge their priority. That's all. Smells like Judge doesn't want to be there, and they know it. So they're going to pay other people.
True.
Moving on. NHL real quick. It's the same story every week. Boston and Vegas are taking the league by storm right now. I don't know when they're going to cool off. They got to. I mean, the way that both those teams are playing is just tremendous. And lump in with them also the Devils, New Jersey. Surprisingly, playing really well. They're at 26 points. They're only 2 points behind the Bruins. And then, that's basically it. I mean, Thanksgiving's fast approaching, and I will take my snapshot on that day of the standings, and then we're going to hit the casino and place some bets for who's going to win the cup. That's it.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me if you predicted halfway through the year that the Bills would be in third in their division.
No. I had them at second.
No comment.
Who did you have at first?
I had the Patriots because they had a super easy schedule.
Where are they at? Where are the Patriots at?
I mean,
with their easy schedule.
Yeah, you're right. They're only one game behind where I thought they would be. I didn't anticipate Miami to be quite as good as they have been.
I told you that.
Kenny tried to tell you.
Okay. I'll give that to you, Kenny.
Man.
But the Bills, the Bills are right where I thought they would be ultimately, but they're gonna be fine because the rest of their schedule is a lot easier. All the crap that the Patriots have played, the Bills get to play now, so they'll be fine.
But yes and no,
I mean, obviously,
right?
Josh
Like,
Allen, you have to worry about his arm.
no, I don't even think that. I think it's more so now. It's the thought process of it's the same stuff the Ravens went through, right? When the Ravens will have a lead or they'll play good and then they fold in the second half. They have front runner syndrome right now. Like when things are good, cool. Yes, we have the pieces to win in the late, but have you guys done it?
That's a fair
No.
point. You know that they're
You know what I
2-8 in
mean?
their last 10 games. That's within a touchdown in one score games.
Yeah. Josh Allen has one of the worst records, right? I think he's at the bottom of that when it comes
It's.
to like comeback
I
right
will
now.
say that they have not learned how to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does make some bonehead plays. Like some of his interceptions
Yeah.
have just been.
But it's not all
Why?
on
Like,
him. Like this last game,
oh
like why
no.
wouldn't they have kicked that last field goal and made it, made Minnesota have to go for 2 touchdowns?
Because first of all,
It's just wild.
it was early. It's more early. It was earlier in the game, right? And then in their mind, they were thinking like, let's put the coffin in. Let's put the nail in the coffin and like get him out of there. I thought personally that it wasn't a smart choice, only because like things weren't. It wasn't like that drive was fluid anyway. You guys had 3 options or 3 tries to get in there and you didn't score. So my mind like kick the field goal,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, that's fine.
And then on that, that wasn't even the bad part. The bad part was the defense. Like the
Yeah.
defense was absolutely sorry, Ryan. I know we're taking away the air out the cell from you, but I'm going on a tangent right now.
Well, I know you were
The
at the
bad,
game, so you
yeah.
had a
So
lot to say.
the defense was terrible in the sense that they would have pressure first and second down, get to third down and lose their fucking mind. Like then the third down happens, no pressure, and then the defenders are like terrible. 30, I forgot his name. What's the name? Number 30 on the Bills, the cornerback. I forgot his name. He was getting torched by Justin Jefferson, right? Like Justin
Hey,
Jefferson is
Jackson.
a baller. Yeah, Jackson was getting torched. Like I was in there, like, listen, how about you guys put somebody on 30, like double team him,
Yeah.
right? Like let somebody else. It was times that Kirk Cousins threw the ball and closed his eyes before. Like they showed the replay, his eyes was closed and he just threw the ball in that direction. And Justin Jefferson made the catch.
He's so
Right?
good. He's so good.
We were in like people were in the stands like, oh my god, what are they doing? The defense come back over like, bro, what the fuck going on? Bro, why you ain't stopping him? And I was like, it's over. They're not winning the game. Like when I hear the defense talking like that, it's a wrap. Like it's done, right? Because now you're looking, pointing fingers, like whose fault is it? And everybody's getting barbecue chicken. And when I see Justin Jefferson over there doing the gritty, when I see him do the gritty, I know what time it is, and it was barbecue chicken time, bro. Has to be one of the craziest games ever.
Yeah, I can't believe
like I've seen.
You will get to say that you were at the game of the year this year. That
Bro,
for sure. Like
that
fact
catch,
that all they needed to do was that catch. That'll be the catch of the year. This will be the game of the year. That catch was the most unbelievable thing. The defender had it and he just ripped it out of his hand, one hand.
On that, why is the
bro.
defender even trying to catch the ball? Why didn't they just
Yes,
swat
that's
it?
what I said. Why did you not just knock it down?
Down.
Exactly.
It's 4th and 18. And then the thing is this: you want the ball so bad to try to pick it off that your force pulling away and his going in the opposite direction is what kept the ball for him to catch it.
Just swat the ball away.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I understand you want to make the play, but it's 4th and 18. You're going to get the ball in better coverage. I mean, better a position anyway if you just deflect it, right? So it's one of those like you got to really be smart. If Poyer was there, Poyer would have knocked it down. He would have picked it off. First of all, if Poyer was there, they wouldn't even score because Poyer is a dog. But that's near hearsay.
And then how do you mess the snap up? Like,
so
that's the
my
only
thing is
thing
this:
you're focusing on.
It's not even about that. Why are you under center?
Well, they were at the 1 yard line.
It doesn't matter. You haven't been under center the whole game. Why are you under center now? You're under center, and on top of that, if you take it out of shotgun, you want to throw anyway. If not, you hand it off. If you get a safety, you're up 4. It's 30-something seconds left. You're up 4. You tell me you don't have that much faith in your defense?
Well, they would.
You're up.
You would
have been up 2.
They would have been up
right?
2.
You'd have been up 2, right? Cool. You're up 2.
They didn't have any faith in their defense. That's the problem.
I know.
That-
But you're up to, right? You get the ball back to the defense and let the defense in the
I don't
game.
know why he even
Right.
snapped the ball. Why wouldn't he just go up there and try to hard count and get a free 5 yards? What's the worst that happens? You get a delay of game.
well, I
Oh
don't
my
know
gosh!
when he
Back
I don't know when he snapped the ball.
there was like
You
20
never
seconds
know.
on the play clock still, and he snapped it.
Yeah,
Because he like audibled real quick because he thought he could get the sneak. That wasn't even the play call.
No, he wasn't trying to sneak though.
Yeah, he was trying to push forward so he didn't get safety.
No, he
and
wasn't.
get a
He really
kneel
wasn't.
down, basically.
He really wasn't. He really wasn't. He really was trying to hand off. Or it's supposed to be like a dive. It was supposed to be like a dive. He really wasn't. I thought the same thing, right? I thought he was trying to sneak as well.
Then I don't know what he did.
I thought he was trying to sneak as well. But when you look at it, right, again, he was trying to turn back, but he was already turning and the ball didn't even hit his hand yet. Like, but let me not say that. He gets paid $200 million. I mean, who am I?
Yeah,
right?
what do we know?
Well, I'm just a guy in the stands watching.
They'd probably
right?
break my hand if I try to take a snap from the center. I'd be like, ah.
They're probably like, yo, shut the fuck up, 2 Joes and 1 pro. Like, you're not even a damn pro. Shut up.
Anyways, the AFC East is playing pretty well, regardless. I mean, all their teams are above 500. And the NFC East is doing just as well. They're not all above 500, but the Commanders just beat the undefeated Eagles, who are undefeated no longer. It's kind of poetic justice that Heineke beat Carson Wentz's former team on Monday night
For him.
to also then take his job. I don't see how Ron Rivera doesn't go with Heineke for the rest of the season unless he gets injured or if he has some real bad games. But it looks like Heineke's playing this week, but Carson Wentz just started throwing. So he hasn't officially made that decision, but it looks like Heineke's the quarterback for now.
Yeah, they said he's not ready yet.
Yeah.
That's the
Wentz. Yeah, that's their excuse.
I wouldn't go to Wentz at all until Heineke looks bad.
Well, you're only saying that because you love Terry McLaurin, and he looks so much better with Heineke than he does with
the whole
100%.
offense looks better with Heineke right now.
100%.
Now, if
That
Heineke
throw
has
he
a bad
threw-
game, then yeah, you go to Wentz because Wentz does have the higher ceiling.
Yeah.
Potential.
Do you think this was just a divisional game that was just tough for the Eagles to overcome? Or do you think that the Eagles showed that they have some weaknesses that they...
I mean,
it's different. You sleep at the wheel.
I mean, the Eagles haven't really played a tough team yet. Not really.
Well, in the NFC East defense, there's no one on our schedule, period. Like every team in our division, we're not playing anybody this year. Like, I mean, look at the Giants. The Giants are like pretenders, but they're 7-2. It's somehow. And they got the Lions this week. Like, we're not going to sleep on the Lions because they're on a 2-game win streak. But still, it's the Lions.
Yeah, but I think what happened was, right, everybody looked at their schedule and like, oh man, Washington sucks. So when you look at their schedule, they have the opportunity to go undefeated. So guess what? When you start thinking, oh man, we're going to go undefeated, you think you're just going to walk through shit.
Yep.
Washington, Ron Rivera, he's a fighter. So guess what? Taylor Heineke's a fighter. You got McLaurin as a fighter. Curtis Samuel's a fighter. Antonio Gibson's a fighter. Like, you got guys on the offense that nobody's giving a shot. It's like, oh, they're over with it, over it. They got some dog. And their defense is good.
And it's only going to get better.
Their game plan during that game was amazing. I think there was like a stat. They had ran the ball like 30 times. And they've run the ball 30 times before halftime. 30 rushing attempts before halftime. And I think they had the Eagles had like 12 plays on offense. They just would not let them get on offense.
No time of possession.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
What is y'all take on Antonio Gibson right now?
I think he looks good in that role.
I mean, none of them are running like it's like 3 yards a carry. They're just grinding it out.
Yeah.
There's nothing crazy, but I think he plays better in that like Eckler
Swiss
type
Army
role.
knife. Type of I definitely agree.
Hey,
I think it's less pressure for him.
Let's also go over some of the big injuries this week. Cooper Kupp, ankle injury, had surgery.
Yeah.
What?
Kenny, where you been?
Yeah,
He's
really?
on IR for 4 weeks.
Oh, he's been in Buffalo. That's why.
I told
They don't have
y'all. I
internet
know.
up
I
there,
know.
do they?
Listen, I know. No, they don't. It's actually pretty terrible up there. Anyway, I told y'all about Cooper Cup though.
They were gonna run him to the ground. Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
why I said
I mean, that's
what?
kind of a fluke play, but yeah,
It's not
the
a
guy
fluke
rolled up
play.
on his leg, man. Like,
Okay,
I
cool.
mean,
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it's bound to happen if you get like 195 targets
sure.
a season. Like,
Yeah. When you get 400 targets, like when it's 2 on 11, because that's all Matthew Stafford is doing is throwing it to him. Like you're bound to get hurt,
But it
bro.
wasn't even
Because he won't
Stafford
throw it
this
to
time.
nobody else.
It was the
well,
backup.
yeah, but that's the game
I
plan.
know
I
that, but
guess the
I'm
game
just
plan.
saying in general, like like throw the Cooper Cup the ball at all costs. Now they suck. Now they're over with.
Stafford was in concussion protocol last week.
Mm-hmm.
He should be out of concussion protocol this week, so maybe he'll find his other friend Allen Robinson and actually throw him the ball this week because he doesn't have Cooper Cup to throw to. But Ben Skoranek is going to get all the targets, and
Oh,
I
for
can see
sure.
that happening. Um, uh, Dallas Goddard landed on his shoulder wrong, so he's out for an extended period of time with a shoulder injury. Good thing I traded him. Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker for the Colts, he's out with
Yep.
he's out for the rest of the year. He had back surgery, so that kind of
That
sucks.
sucks because he had just came
Hey,
back.
Yep.
yep.
Khalil
He's out for the
Herbert.
rest of the year.
Yep.
Yeah, it's tough.
Herbert is on IR with a hip injury, so
Thank
David
goodness.
Montgomery is the guy. Hey, how
No. I'm joking. Let me not say that. I'm joking.
how impressed are you guys with Justin Fields?
I think when a guy's in his natural habitat, he can flourish. Like they're
That is
doing.
key. What you're saying there is I think it goes without saying that like Justin Fields is doing what Justin Fields has always done. The only difference is that the head coach has gotten his head out of his ass to be like, let me change the offense to stop trying to make this guy be a pocket passer
Yep.
or trying to make him do what he's not good at. And
Yeah.
like he is playing amazing.
He,
Like,
He's a bigger, more humble Kyler Murray.
yeah.
In the sense of like I can scramble, right? Like not like that,
I'd
Brian.
put him more towards like
Like
Lamar with a more accurate throwing, a little bit more accurate passing.
I don't know.
what?
The offense is very Ravens like. Like they're
Like yes,
featuring the tight
Yeah.
end a ton.
Kyler runs not because that's designed for him to run. He just runs because it's all about me.
He is literally like
Lamar
a
and
chicken with his head cut
Fields,
off. Like
it's designed.
yeah.
You know,
So I think it's then I to your point. I think it's like a blend. Yeah, Ravens. I say it's a blend of both, right? Because you can see that sometimes Justin Fields. I think now they tell Justin Fields, "Hey, listen, if it's not there, just run, bro. Do what
Yeah.
you do."
yep.
Right? You can see like it go off in his head, like, okay, all right, I'm out.
Oh, that 67-yard run that he had, where it was like, I think he had someone in the flats, and he was like, "No, I'm taking this the distance." He just was gone.
He's so fast.
Yeah, yeah, he's different, bro. He's
Hey,
a different speed.
what's this guy's name? The massage guy. Deshaun Watson's back at practice. So he gets to practice now, but he's not back until week 13. So they have a bye week. And who do
2
they get to
weeks.
play week 13? The Houston
Texans.
Texans. So
Yep.
I hope
that
Houston
should be an
wins.
easy game for him.
What did you think about Jeff Saturday getting his first dub?
Sure. That wouldn't be how it happened.
Yeah.
Brian's out here. Who'd they play? The Raiders, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
like
so
that's everybody
Brian's
gets the dub
praying
on them.
every week. Vegas. Please fire Josh McDaniels.
That's not happening.
And they're not going to fire him. Yeah, like you put those hopes and dreams a lot to bed because the owner, who's the owner?
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis is Mark Davis came out and said, I think he's doing a great job. So he's happy with where he's at right now.
Listen, I think he has done a fine job. They've had the ball like 5 times at the end of the game to win the game in 5 of their losses. Like he's putting them in position to win. He can't go out there and perform for them. So it's a lot of this is on Derek Carr, just is not seeing guys.
Well, it's also on him for giving him locked up money
Oh, that's
before
fair.
seeing the product.
Well, that's on Dave Ziegler. That's not on Josh McDaniels.
Unseen, sight unseen,
He's like, yeah, it sounds good.
sight unseen.
Hey, the Cardinals have designated Hollywood Brown to return from injury. I think we all knew that he was going to come back from injury. The ripple effect of this, which I thought was pretty interesting, was Eno Benjamin got released from the team midway through the week. He was the dude that filled in for James Conner. James Conner, he played pretty well while James was out, but James Conner likes to get injured. So,
Well, I think Darrell Williams will be back soon too.
supposedly there was a altercation or an argument between him and the coaching staff with regards to his playing time, and
Who? Yeah.
apparently
Well, then that's why
he got picked up on waivers by Houston. So there's that. The Saints are going to start Dalton this week against the Rams. That should be an ugly game. Stafford's going to play with no cup. What else was a surprise last week? The Packers pulled out a win against the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was a big
I
one.
think the Packers are back.
Sure,
No.
the Packers are back. They threw to Christian Watson, had a breakout game. He had like 4 catches, 3 touchdowns. 3 of them being touchdowns, like 107 yards. So
Yeah.
Rodgers decided to throw to him, but he did the same thing with Dobbs. If he can stay healthy, sure, Christian Watson's the guy, but he needs to stay healthy. I see him. I think even in this game, he came out with like an injury and then went back in. So it is what it is. Cardinals beat the Rams last week. Nothing new there. The Chargers could not beat the 49ers. I don't know what's going on with the Chargers.
Coach.
The Steelers found a way to beat the Saints, which I thought was interesting. I think the Steelers defense played really well.
Yeah,
because the Saints
we get TJ Watt gets back.
Yeah, that is crazy how one player can make that large of a difference.
Bro, he came back from a torn pec. Like, I remember you and I were watching him, and we were like, what? How's this guy even back?
I'm pretty sure, didn't JJ tear his pec and he was out the whole year?
I don't know.
Like a couple years ago?
I mean, there's different degrees of tears, but...
Yeah, it could be partially torn.
Yeah, but if you're a
mutant, grade 3, grade 2, grade 1.
Like, yeah, right. He's got better regeneration than
my goodness.
JJ.
The Chiefs are the Chiefs, man. Juju went down with a concussion, but that was another. It's crazy how like that thing happened with Tua this year, and then like we see it all the time. It's like once a week. It's like someone's locked up or like all messed up.
But the Juju stuff was crazy. You can tell like it was definitely like a shot down the spine because he went limp in the air. It was like he hit the ground, then he went. Like as soon as he got hit, he just. It was just crazy.
The Miami Dolphins with the Dolphins and the 49ers are literally just taking scripts and they're like, we're just gonna do the same thing.
Just pass it. Hey, what you use? Give me that. Let me get that.
Exactly. They're like they took Jeff Wilson, and what they're doing with Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert is the exact same thing that they're trying to do with McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell. They're splitting it down the middle. If you play fantasy, that should not worry you about Christian McCaffrey because he is going to still eat. He's going to get the more valued targets, the more valuable touches. I don't remember years ago whenever it was like it was Mark Ingram when you could start Mark Ingram and you could start Alvin Kamara back in the day.
Because they both
Kamara would get like 12 touches a game, but he'd have like 30 fantasy points because they were super valuable touches. He was getting catches. That's what you're going to have with Christian McCaffrey, and it's going to keep him healthy.
That was kind of like a similar thing how Raheem Mostert was. It's like the roles flip-flop a little bit, right? Because Jeff Wilson got more carries, but Raheem Mostert was getting more selective like plays for him, right? So,
yeah, Mostert needs that because he tends to get injured pretty often. So he needs to.
So does Jeff Wilson. So
exactly. So let's see how long Miami could. What game are you guys looking forward to most this week? Any matchups?
Any game involving Miami is good in my book because Tua is a dog. I
I
don't
like
think
watching him play.
I don't understand why people don't give Tua more credit when you got two receivers that I think Waddle was close to 1,000 yards.
They're
I
on
think he
bye
had
this week, so I guess you're going to be bored.
yeah. I'm
Just stare at
on,
your
I'm bored
couch
this
then.
week now.
That's where they're
Literally
playing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the schedule right now. Maybe
Let's see.
the Cowboys Vikings game would be interesting.
No.
But what else? The Chargers Chiefs game.
I'm interested in seeing if the Jets can get
Beat the
Zach
Patriots?
get Zach Wilson. Well, that and get Zach Wilson not to be seeing ghosts out there and chucking the ball up for no reason. Because he looks fine against other teams, but for some reason when against the Patriots, he's never looked good yet. So we'll see if he can get over that hump this week.
Over under Mac Jones over 140 passing yards.
Come on,
He's been playing like shit.
it's under.
He's been playing so bad.
Dude, I am curious if they figure out the damn wide receiver quarterback timing for the Patriots offense. Because I don't know if you guys saw it, but Dan Orlovsky was doing did a little film study thing, and he was showing how when Mac he's done it, he's at the end of his drop back, and none of his receivers are looking for the ball yet. So like the timing of the route combination is not there for their offensive scheme, which is the biggest problem with them all.
So what really matters? I think the Cincinnati Pittsburgh game is going to be important because what Brian's talking about is this bullshit.
Okay.
It's excuses for why Matt is not doing what he's supposed to. The answer is Zappe.
No.
That's it. That's the answer. So like,
Okay,
you guys keep trying to like figure out other excuses for Mac Jones. He's not doing this. The timing's off. It's the receiver's fault. It's O-line. He ain't it.
Okay.
He ain't it. You listen to Dan Orlovsky. Ain't listen to him.
I mean,
He's the same one that was saying the damn Panthers is running elementary doggone offense. Stop.
That coach did end up getting fired.
yeah.
He got fired because they weren't winning. They weren't
Look
winning.
at them now.
That's because they put PJ to start.
Well, he's not starting this week. He's injured.
But
that sucks because that might mean he loses his job.
Yeah, I'm not going to start. I'm not going to talk on that anyway.
Who are they starting?
Hey,
are they starting Baker or Darnold?
Yeah, starting Baker. So bench
Darnold is over with. Darnold is over with. I mean,
he's still not. Oh, they haven't activated him. I think he's able to be activated, but they're not.
I'm going to say this about that. You have to play the guys that you're paying the most money to. If you don't, then you look like a complete idiot as a coaching staff and as a general manager. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, yes and no, but now Steve Wilkes doesn't have to worry about that because those weren't his decisions.
He does. He has pressure to play.
That's all I'm
going
to
to
say.
have pressure to play Baker.
You're not giving a guy $9 million and another guy $20 million and be like, hey, we're going to let a guy that's getting $900,000 play over you guys.
I mean, I would if that guy's the best of the three.
You heard what you said? I would. But guess what? You're not cashing out the checks, right?
I got one more question before we move on. Where is Odell signing? Give it to me, Kenny. Maybe I'm biased, but I read an article that said his top two teams are the Cowboys or the Giants, erring on the side of him going to the Giants.
I think the Giants is a good possibility.
Because everyone that drove him out is gone.
That's true. And Dayball can tell him, listen, you see how Stephon Diggs is getting touches.
That's true.
That could be you. You know what I mean? And then when Odell goes in there, guess what? He doesn't have to worry about like who else am I competing with because there's nobody else there.
I'll tell you right now, New York will welcome him with open arms right now. They'll be
for sure.
They bring back the king. The king has returned. I'll brush off my Odell jersey. I'm ready to go.
Because you know what's funny? When he was leaving out there, like, we don't need him. We don't need him. Yeah. We get better. We don't need him. He sucks. He doesn't want to play hard. And then ever since then, the receiver's been absent.
Yeah.
Shepard, not it. Let's get Kenny Galladay.
When are
Not
they going to
it.
cut Galladay? Like, I would just cut him at this point.
They
He's
can't.
worthless.
They can't.
They can't. They owe him too much
can't.
money.
They
I
owe
would
him
eat
money.
it. I would just eat it at this point. Like, that's what you're going to
The,
do
the
anyways.
Mars are not doing it. They're not going to do
They're
it.
not.
I would
it's
pay
one
him to
game,
go
but
away.
It was pretty bad.
Bro, the
They
drops.
fuck around and get Odell, and then Kenny Galladay plays better because he's like, Odell's here.
No.
And like,
Not unless Galladay remembers to put some stickum on his gloves or something, because that man
If
can't even,
Odell comes to
he
the
can't even catch.
Giants,
Oh my god!
I got a jersey in there.
and money wise, I think they'll make sure it's right. They'll make sure it's right.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
Yeah, that would
they don't have a lot
be
of
the only
money.
thing is I don't know if we have the money, but they would backload the money. Like he wouldn't get as much because I think we have money this year to be able to pay him.
Yeah.
Um,
I think this year would be like a big signing bonus and it'd be incentive based, and then they can figure out something for next year.
yeah, because they're gonna cut Galladay at the end of the year, regardless. He has sealed his fate. Like unless he somehow gets like 10 catches the next 3 weeks, he is gone. He's got the yips. He can't get it together. He's bad.
He has robbed the Giants blind of that money because he hasn't
It's
done
so bad.
anything.
It's Kenny. I wish you were there. He like wide open, went through his arms.
Bro,
He had 2 targets, one of which would have been a first down. It was like a key third down. He was wide open right in the middle. He hit him in the stomach, and it just went through his hands.
I'm a Kenny Galladay fan. I have his rookie card right here.
Yeah.
That I thought
Put that in
was
the
going to be worth
Yeah.
something. That's what I thought it was going to be worth something. It's his actually signature and everything on it. I was like, man, this is going to be worth something. He's going to go to the Giants and ball out. No, that's just probably worth 3
No,
cents.
you'd have to pay somebody else to take it. That's where it's at.
My rookie card is probably worth more than his rookie card.
100%. 100%. 100.
only if they got a picture of you coming out of Temple doing that spin move. Okay.
Love that.
Oh, here we go.
Why are you guys hating on his one spin
I'm
move?
not hating on it. I think it
Oh
was
my
a
God.
photo opportunity.
No, that shit was trash. Okay. That was a slow mo spin move, right?
It's like he forgot to hit the turbo while he was doing the spin move.
you know the funny thing about it that was though, before we go to hot takes like hotcakes, I wasn't even trying to spin move.
It just like happened.
Yeah, it just happened. Like I was going, and then like I just like spinning. I'm like, bro. In my head, I'm like, bro, I'm going slow.
Did they
as
light
hell.
you up during film the following week? Like, I don't know if you guys
No,
watch film. But
nobody said anything. Nobody said anything. Everybody's like, oh, good spin move, and I'm like, that shit was trash. I think it's because I scored, right? I think it's because I scored. So then it was like, it's not that bad. It worked. He did it intentionally, right? Even the announcers was piping me up like that shit was not it. Look at the spin move. That shit was anyway.
Oh man.
All right, hotcakes.
Yeah. Anyway, so enough of that. So hot takes like hotcakes, man. I got a couple questions for you guys before we get into Ryan's fantasies and BK bets. So we talked about the AFC East a little bit, right? Who is going to take control, right? Who is really going to take control and win the AFC East in you guys'
The
opinion?
Bills.
I haven't looked at the remaining schedule.
I have them going
But it
7-1 the rest of the way. It'll be 13-4. I think is that.
Yeah, but it might. I could see the Dolphins doing the same thing. The Dolphins look really good right now. Their defense is actually playing well.
I have the Dolphins winning. Only because the ending result, like who can come up clutch in the end. I know that Josh Allen can. I know that the Bills can. Don't ever get there. Mistake that. But right now, like I think they have a bad issue. Until they do it, I definitely would take the Miami over them.
So we'll see, because I'm looking at the schedule now. Miami still has to play San Francisco, the Chargers, and the Packers if the Packers have their shit together by week 16.
Those are 3 pretty solid teams. I mean,
none of those teams that you guys say like scare me. 49ers, it depends on who you get. Are they playing at 49ers or are they playing at Miami? Because that's the difference.
I mean, I don't
They're
think
playing
it matters.
at San Fran and at Las
So-
Vegas.
So
Or
if they're
Los
playing
Angeles.
at if they're playing at San Fran, that's a little different. I don't care about the Chargers. We're not going to do nothing.
LA doesn't have real fans.
That's yeah. Like we're not doing nothing with them. But that for 49ers is probably the only game I'm worried about because when you play at 49ers, they play definitely different.
Yeah, but
And
the
they do
Bills
on the
only
road.
have Cincy, really. Chicago too, if you're worried about them, and then
Yeah, but
Miami.
we don't really know who to really be worried about, right? Because it comes down to if they come out a big lead and they can hold it, cool. If it comes down to the clutch tight game, it's probably going to figure out a way to lose. To be honest with you.
Yeah, but I mean,
We will
the
see.
Bills
Let's
still
see if
have 2 more layups against the Patriots, so I mean that's 2 dubs for them.
Oh, here he goes
Some
trying to put
easy
the
ones.
reverse jinx
Nice.
out
Like,
there.
it's
He's
a
trying to put the
layup.
reverse jinx out
Yeah,
there.
that's what he do. Yeah.
I've been a Giants fan for a long time, buddy. I know how this works.
Yeah. Hey, my second question for you guys, right? Who is the best receiver in the NFL right now?
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
You guys think it's a no brainer? You think it's
Yes.
Justin Jefferson?
Yeah. Who's
He's
covering him?
unguardable. He did have a couple games this year where he like kind of disappeared,
Yeah.
but for the
Yeah.
most part, this man is just different.
But was it him disappearing or was it Kirk disappearing? So that's why I'd ask myself on that.
I thought it was going to be a little bit more than that. I really like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
I mean, he's good. Yeah.
I like what makes Justin Jefferson better than Tyreek Hill.
The catch
you guys'
radius for one. I mean, come on. Tyreek is just limited in that he's only, 5'10" or 5'11"? Like,
no,
Bro,
you can't say that
he-
because I've seen Tyreek Hill 50-50 balls.
Go up
Those are
and get it.
80-20 for him. Like
I mean,
he somehow, even if he's not jumping higher than the other defender, he somehow jumps at the right angle where the ball lands in his
Right.
chest. So
Yeah.
you're right, but
And I don't even like seeing Stephon Diggs, man. Like he's different too.
yes,
I think that Josh Allen just disperses the ball around a little bit evenly because they give Gabe Davis some touches and Dawson Knox or whatever. But like Stephon Diggs, nobody's covering him either, right? So it's like it's crazy that all three of them are right there at the top. Like who's the top receiver? I think Tyreek Hill still has a slight advantage on Justin Jefferson by a little bit.
my argument for Justin Jefferson would be the fact that there ain't nobody else on that team.
No, Adam Thielen is definitely there. T.J. Hawkinson is definitely there.
They are there, but they are not.
It's Kirk.
threats
It's
like
not.
Waddle. Like there are sometimes where you're playing opposite of a young guy that's like not just as good, but like he's just as fast and shifty as Tyreek Hill. Like what do you do with that? Like who do you
let
who do
them
you
beat
double
you.
there?
You let them beat you,
And that's what they're doing.
but Tyreek Hill is still cooking. That's what I'm saying.
but
like
so is
Justin
Waddle.
Jefferson is
So
the
they're
only.
both cooking.
Yeah, but Justin Jefferson is the only guy, right?
Yes.
But he's still eating. Like he's the only guy he's still eating. I think you can look at it as half empty, half full.
If
from
you're
what
game
perspective you're
planning
looking at.
against the Vikings, who you shutting down?
Yeah, I'm going to shut down Justin Jefferson.
If you're game planning to shut down the Dolphins, it's yes, you want to shut down Tyreek Hill, but then you're just going to get burnt by Waddle. And then midway through the game, you're going to be like, all right, let's try and shut down Waddle. And then Tyreek's going to go off. It's like you can't.
I think the X factor in there is the quarterback, right? Kirk Cousins is just not it. Like if you put Tua on the Vikings, I think you see not similar numbers because Adam Thielen's not as fast as Jalen Waddle. But I think Adam Thielen's numbers will go up too, right? I just think Kirk Cousins, like watching Kirk Cousins in person, he cannot throw the ball. Like he has this weird release that it looks like he's like he got a hinge in his shoulder. It looked ugly. Like I don't know how he's throwing the ball. I've never seen him besides at Michigan State. He looks terrible though.
I also don't think that it takes a special kind of coach to be able to like scheme like for multiple players, like build an offense for multiple players. Like most teams are building offenses for like one player. Like you could see Sean McVay's having trouble scheming his offense to feature multiple stars. He can only really feature without one guy. So
yeah, I think my I was going to touch on Just Saturday, but we already hit that for a little bit. I said, is he for real? But it's a joke. I think the last thing I'm going to say before we go to Ryan's fantasies is coaches, don't overuse your assets, right? You see all these big time players getting hurt because you guys are overusing them, right? Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor. You just can't overuse
chill
them.
with
right?
Saquon because he had 30 carries his last week.
Yeah, chill with Saquon. Don't overuse Justin Jefferson. I know he's been cooking, but he slammed to the ground a few times hard, bro. And I was surprised he got up like no problem. But so like just be careful on that. But yeah, that's all I have, man. Ryan fantasies.
Hey man, if you have been riding the lottery ticket of Justin Fields, just keep going because he's playing Atlanta this week. Just keep throwing him in your lineup. Uh, Daniel, as much as Brian would hate me for saying this because he wants me to trade for him, Daniel Jones is gonna do pretty well against the Lions probably this week. And then another player I would probably start because Arizona's defense is garbage is Jimmy G. Um, he's going to have most of his weapons back from injury. He had them back last week, but like Debo didn't look right. So maybe with another week of rest, they play a lot better this week. Let's see what else we got. What do we got? The running back position. Oh, is Damian Harris playing this week, Mike? Brian?
Yeah,
He is?
he should be.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Start Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, doesn't matter what.
Man,
Start Ramondre Stevenson.
finally, you can trust a Patriots running back. And as I'm saying this, Harris is going to have like 3 touchdowns. But no, I'm just kidding.
But
Finally, you
Ramondre
can
will
trust
still
him.
have his. Like,
Yeah,
you know
this
what I mean?
dude is good.
He's gonna get the touches.
Yep.
Brian hit that on the head.
Brian Robinson, he's going to get it. It's not going to look pretty, but the Commanders have a running philosophy to give this man like 18 to 20 touches regardless, and he runs hard. So he's probably going to fall into the end zone because they're playing the Houston Texans, who their defense looked like trash last week. They got ran all over by the Giants, and they controlled most of that game. So that's who I'm playing on the Commanders side, the running back position. I think they're going to try and the Bills are going to try and feature Devin Singletary a little bit more, which is weird. I haven't seen a lot of Nyheim Hines. Is he like I don't understand why they did that.
No,
trade.
he's been playing though.
I know, but
He's
like,
been playing.
all right,
They've been trying to get James Cook in there.
yeah,
That's what it's been.
Yeah.
It's been James Cook trying to get him more features.
Oh, and it's
so
supposed to be,
but Singletary is still eating. He's playing pretty well actually too.
It's supposed to snow in Buffalo this week.
Yep.
Like
a lot of runs.
Like 3 to 6 feet of snow expected on Sunday.
That lake wind advisory is crazy.
Yep.
I think they're talking about possibly moving the game. I'm just letting you know. Yeah, like it's that bad for snow.
Well, keep an eye out on it but if it is playing and they're playing the snow, Singletary and Chubb are gonna have a game.
Or it's gonna be very low scoring. Because they're not gonna be any passing.
They would not be throwing, so hopefully you're playing Stephon Diggs this week. You know who's been playing pretty well at the wide receiver position is Rondale Moore. Keep an ear out if what's his nuts is playing Hollywood Brown, but even if Hollywood's out there, they're gonna probably ease him into the offense again. But Rondale Moore's been getting targets for days. So I'm throwing him in every single one of my lineups. Kadarius Toney has been healed by being released by the Giants, so he is no longer ever going to be injured. If Juju doesn't leave the concussion protocol, even if he's not in there, MVS I think should be back this week. But still, I think Kadarius Toney's starting to get a little bit more featured in the offense, and
100%.
As he starts getting more featured, Andy Reid's going to start drawing up plays for this guy, and he's just
broke man's Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, so he's a baller, and they're playing the Chargers this week, so I could see that being a good play. And roll the dice, try and go with the hot hand with Christian Watson playing on a Thursday night against the Titans. I mean, I know that could be a low scoring game, but it's Aaron Rodgers. He still doesn't. Aaron Rodgers looks broken sometimes, but a lot of it is because he's not confident in his receivers. And if he gets confident in this guy and he's actually good, that's a good look.
I think I read somewhere that the Tennessee Titans have like 26 people on the injured list right now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So it might be a good week for the Packers.
Hell yeah. Hey, I didn't mention this for my quarterback take, but Russell Wilson has been dog water this whole year. But the only week he was decent was when he played the Raiders, and he's playing the Raiders again this week. Cortland Sutton has not been good for your fantasy team, but if Jerry Jeudy is not playing this week, which surprisingly he got injured last week, and I thought his season was over. I was like, oh, that looks pretty bad, but apparently he's day to day with an
Hmm.
ankle sprain. It wasn't as bad as he reacted. But Cortland Sutton should have a game. He was out there like Mac Jones. Hey, at the tight end position, I'm gonna keep rolling with Cole Kmet, man. He likes
Oh
him.
my
The
God.
dude has like 5 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. Uh,
Hmm.
Dalton Schultz is the guy that you drafted, and he's getting healthy now. And last week he showed Dak, I think, had like 9 targets to this dude, 7 catches,
Hmm.
and he got in the end zone. Dalton Schultz is like Dak Prescott's best friend. Please play him everywhere you have him. And then if Jerry Judy's out, Greg Dolchik, the rookie tight end for
Yeah.
the Broncos, is going to be a nice play. This dude's picture looks funny as hell.
I got one.
Uh, Go ahead.
Oh, are you done with tight ends?
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say Trey McBride taking over for Zach Ertz at tight end for the Cardinals could be a sneaky good find if you need somebody on the waiver wire.
And he's a dog too. I don't think people know about him. He's a dog too. Colorado State.
He's here's the only thing I will say with that. If you're relying on and you want to throw the dice, sure, but he's more of a DFS play for me, and maybe someone I throw on my roster, but I don't have to start this week just to see how they use him and how he's because they got a lot of pass catchers in that offense, and who
Mhm.
knows what Homeboy's gonna do if
Yeah,
if he even plays.
that's somebody you take and put in your roster and hold if you got somebody like Kyle Pitts who's being like complete trash and dog water, and you want to make sure like, listen, I need to get some points and I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you do.
Yeah, you're better off. It's you know what I read a stat the other day. Kyle Pitts is leading the league in uncatchable targets. Like balls, I swear to God, balls thrown to him that are uncatchable, which is surprising because he is the tight end in the league with the largest wingspan, meaning he has the largest catch radius of any tight end in the NFL, and he cannot throw him the ball, and you're still throwing him uncatchable balls.
He still can't catch what you're throwing because it's that bad.
Yeah,
Damn,
dude,
that's bad.
But
That's
the
bad.
Falcons said they're going to stick with Marcus Mariota.
That doesn't speak well for what's the guy?
Desmond Ritter,
Yeah,
I
that
think.
guy. Yeah, the quarterback they drafted.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we appreciate that. Lions Fantasies. Let's get straight into BK bets. So I got 5 teams for you guys. Still gonna you can do a 3-team parlay, but 5 teams for NCAA. TCU at -2.5. They're going against Baylor. I know a lot of people think it could be an upset game, but I don't think so. Tennessee -21 against South Carolina. I think Tennessee is hard to stop on defense. I mean on offense. And South Carolina defense is not really like that. It could be a shootout, right? You could look at the over as a possibility because Spencer Rattler has been playing really well. But I like the 21 points on Tennessee. Mississippi 2.5 versus Arkansas. I think Lane Kiffin is going to get back on the right page. I like how their offense look, man. I think Alabama squeaked by them, but offensively they look pretty good, pretty fluid. I think they'll get a dub. The Oregon, you can take that game money line versus Utah. It's going to be at a home game. I hope Bo Nix doesn't let me down, but I think Oregon's been playing really well at home, and they still have a chance to make it to the college football playoffs. So I think that a statement win like this, a big win, would be good for them. So hopefully Dan Lanning is talking to his team and getting them right, having a little bit of understanding from being at Georgia, right? Oklahoma State, it's all dependent on if Sanders is playing. If Sanders is playing, I like the +7.5 versus Oklahoma. If he's not, then you just can scrap this pick and don't even put it on there. I wouldn't even test it because they are so up and down. It's not even worth it. So if Sanders playing, then yes, I would take the 7.5. If he's not playing, don't touch the Oklahoma State game. That's all I got.
All right, I got a 3-teamer for the NFL. I got Indy +7. They're at home against Philly. Indy's got a sneaky good defense. It looks like Jeff Saturday got those boys up front blocking right now because Jonathan Taylor had a game last week. And, Washington showed that Philly has a little chink in the armor after all. So I like Indy to stay within a touchdown. I got Washington -3.5 at Houston. Again, that's a team that's up and coming. I think that they're only going to get better. Chase Young, I think, is going to be activated this week.
Either this week or next
Yeah,
week, one or
so
two.
I mean that only improves their defense even further. And then third, I've got Kansas City -5.5 at the Chargers. Sorry, Kenny, but the Chargers ain't it this year. And Pat Mahomes is unstoppable right now. A fourth game that you could consider, I did bring up the blizzard that's going to happen in Buffalo. The over/under is 41.5 for that game. If it's snowing like crazy and you got time to hit the books before the game, and they're gonna play it, might want to consider that under, because that could be a very low scoring game if it's a bad enough blizzard. So, just throwing that out there.
You're better off hitting the under now before it starts moving.
But you risk them moving the game or playing it on a different day, flexing it.
Yeah, then you chopped.
Yeah, because those two teams can put.
I mean,
up some
I'm not
points.
telling you to put like your
If
house
it gets
on it.
if it gets to the 30s, I'll take the over. Just because you never know how it goes. Like, yeah, we could think it's going to be bad. If it gets in the 30s, I'm talking about like 30, 35, 36.
Snow.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
Crazy work. Anyway, man, that does it, man. Before we go, I want to say prayers out to the whole UVA community. With the shooting that happened. I know that's crazy. I think they lost three players, and then I think one or two of the players got shot as well. That's just crazy, like madness. It's too often that we're seeing more and more shootings. It's like a common thing every day, and really it needs to stop. So prayers out to them, and continue to check on your loved ones and make sure everybody's good, man, because you got to cherish these times. Either way, we love y'all. Follow, subscribe, all the socials. We'll see you guys next week. Good luck in your fantasy, man. Don't be like me and lose, right? Hopefully we hit some tickets, right? So I'm trying to give some positive energy. So we'll see y'all.
Peace.
Peace.